Happy 2024, my friends. Today, I've put together a sequence of declutter videos from my 2023 30-day declutter challenge. In these videos, I set the timer for 15 minutes and I jumped in fast and furious. And by the end of the 30 days, I had a couple of boxes full for donations and a few bags filled to go to family and friends. Now, this video is not going to disappoint because I'm going to give you the motivation to get in there, declutter, and get some things out of your home. On the first 30 days of a new year, I like to go through my home and pull out as much clutter as I possibly can. So this year, I thought it would just be fun to come to you every day for the next 30 days and ask you to come along with me as I set my timer for 15 minutes and I take care of hidden areas in our home that is notorious for collecting clutter. Now, the key here is to only use that 15 minutes for decluttering. We will be going back later on in the months to go in and organize these areas, but for right now, we need to get out as much clutter as we possibly can. So, if you haven't already subscribed, please take a second to hit that red subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you get reminded every time I post a new video. You don't want to miss one of these decluttering videos because when you follow along with me, you're going to be amazed at the amount of clutter that you're going to be able to get out of your home in the next 30 days. All right, so let me tell you what I'm doing here as if you can't already tell. Anyways, what I'm doing is I am checking all the expiration dates on the food. I'm also combining any food that can be combined. Now that we're not having our summer barbecues by the pool and the Christmas party is now over, I have a lot of extra food in here that some of it has expired because it was from the summer. And then some of it we just absolutely don't need and it's going to expire. And then others I just need to combine. So that's what I'm doing here now. As you can see, our family really enjoys their hot sauces and their pickles and also olives. So I've got quite a few of those. We do use a lot of this for charcuterie boards as well. So that's where a lot of the olives came from. And I do have a pregnant daughter and she likes her pickles when she comes over. So that's why I still have those. Can't find the expiration date on some of these things, so when in doubt I go ahead and throw it out. Now I make sure that it isn't something that I recently bought, but if I can't remember when I bought it and I can't find the expiration date on it, I'm just going to go ahead and chunk it. Now the refrigerator could really use a good cleaning. However, I don't have enough time in my 15 minutes to get in there and do that. So just like with you, like I'm asking you, I'm only going to stick to the 15 minutes to get in here and declutter as much as I can out of here. Now I would suggest that if you're zone cleaning in your kitchen, go ahead and add the inside of your refrigerator to your zone cleaning for this month. I'm also doing that in other places around the house that I'm going to be decluttering that I'd really like to get in there and do some cleaning, like the refrigerator and my pantry. But I don't have the time in my 15 minutes to do it. So I'm going to add that into my zone cleaning for the week that I'm in there, which is this week. This coming up week, I am in the kitchen. So I will be zone cleaning in the refrigerator by giving it a good deep clean. Here's a little suggestion, and yes, I'm laughing at myself, but here's a little suggestion. If you make videos and you are speeding them up for any reason, don't chew gum. I'm chewing gum and it looks awful when you speed up the video. Anyways, just a little laugh at myself. Okay, before anybody says it, yes, I feel awful throwing out all this food, but I want to remind you, we just had a big Christmas party here, and a lot of this is from the Christmas party, like all the grapes, and there's some cherries and things like that. Those all went on charcuterie boards and things like that. So I'm saving everything that I can possibly use in upcoming meals, but the other things I'm getting rid of because I'm not going to use it, and it's just going to sit in this refrigerator. This banana nut bread was given to us by one of our family members. We ate as much as we're going to eat, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And then I'll unpackage some of the things that belong to the grandkids. Again, usually I have this very organized, but the grandkids have gotten in here and taken a lot of it out, especially during the Christmas party. Just like the drawer that I showed you, I think yesterday or maybe the day before. It was the day before. I showed you that I have a snack drawer for the kids, and that's empty because the grandkids all went in there and ate it all up. And then I have two of these Brees that didn't get used at the Christmas party. Now, they seem to have a very long shelf life if you keep them in the refrigerator. So I think it was like almost a year. I had no idea that Brie could last that long, and I probably won't hold on to it that long. I'm sure that I'll find something to make with it. If not me, one of my daughters will probably have a charcuterie board, and I'll pass it on to them. But we do like Brie here, so I'll probably use it. And I'm sure that we will have some sort of party that I can use it for. Anyways, I'm going to continue in this drawer, and I'm going to get everything out, and then we will be done in our refrigerator. Now, tomorrow I'll be coming back, and we are going to do the freezer. And that thing is packed. I have been holding on to food in there for so long that it really needs to be, all the expiration dates really need to be looked at, and I need to pull things out. So anyways, I just got a new order from my butcher box, and I'm running out of places to put the meat because I have too much other junk, and I mean junk, in there. So we're going to get in there tomorrow, and we're going to pull all that out. So this is my box of coffee that I keep into my backstock area that's in my laundry room. We are going to be organizing that here soon. Well, actually, we're going to be decluttering it here soon, and then later we'll go back and organize it. So anyways, we will be in the laundry room soon enough, and you'll get to see all the things that I have on those shelves. It's not pretty, trust me. So like I said yesterday, you think my refrigerator was holding a lot of things that shouldn't have been in there? This freezer is holding a whole lot of things that shouldn't be in here. So a lot of this food, especially like the kolaches and the boxed foods, those chicken bites, things like that, I had all those when I was watching my grandson here at my house while his mother, both his mother and his dad worked outside the home. So when he was with me, you know, I would usually have 2 or 3 grandkids over here to play with him. And, you know, they would have all these types of like waffles and the chicken bites and things like that, the kolaches, things like that. Well, once mom came home, my daughter came home and gave birth to her second son, she now works from home. So I don't have the little ones over here for lunch like I used to. So I have all this leftover food that is now old and expired, and I need to go ahead and get rid of it. And in addition to those foods, I also have a lot of vegetables in here, frozen vegetables, that are no good. They have like freezer burn and things like that. I'm finding that I rarely use frozen vegetables anymore. 90% of the vegetables that I cook are fresh. So I didn't use all the frozen vegetables that I had in here, and in my opinion, they're bad because they're like frozen like a hard rock. So in order for me to cook, you know, a handful of it, I would have to thaw out the majority of it. With the exception of the edamame. I do love edamame. I eat it as snacks. So I have a lot of that because I go through it quickly. Anyways, you're going to see all the stuff that I'm going to get rid of. Again, it's very embarrassing, but it is reality to me. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of it now so that way I don't have this problem again. And then you're going to notice that I have a lot of meat. Recently, I would say within the last 8 months, I've been ordering my meat through Butcher Box. It's a subscription, and that's where I get all my meat from. I really love all the meat. It's all organic, and it's very good for you. but I have a lot of it, and I think that the issue is that I didn't know what I had. It's just been stacking up underneath all that other stuff, and I wasn't getting in the freezer because it's a mess, and I don't like to be in places that are a mess. So it's just been sitting in there. Anyways, I am going to make a list of everything that I have, all the different meats that I have, so that way I can use them up before I buy anything more. And then I'm not going to buy any more meats because obviously I have plenty of meat. Anyways, and another thing that my husband and I started doing is we only eat meat twice a week. So I wasn't using up the meat the way that I should have been using it up in the amount that I was buying it. You see what I'm saying? So I need to pare back on the box, basically is what I'm saying, is I don't need as much meat coming every month, because we have switched our diet to where we're only eating meat twice a week, with the exception of fish. So we'll eat a red meat, a chicken, and then one day we'll have a fish. So, 3 days a week we'll have some sort of a meat, and then the rest of it is a vegetarian. That's just for our health-wise. We just like to do that occasionally. So we've been doing it. Well, we haven't started it back since Christmas, but we want to start back doing that now. So I need to go ahead and put a hold on the butcher box so that they're not bringing us or sending us any more food. And then that way I can use up what I have. And then when I subscribe, I need to tell them not to send me as much, because I don't think we're going to need as much if we continue on the diet that we've been doing. Anyways, I hope all that makes sense, and I hope it helps you to better understand why I have so much in this drawer. Ugh, it's just terrible, I know. Believe it or not, I do meal plan. So every week I know what we're going to have on any given day. However, I did not meal plan for December, because if you remember, the end of November into December we were in Hawaii, so there was no need to meal plan then. And then we came back and we had the big Christmas party, and I didn't meal plan then because I needed the space in my refrigerator for all the food that we were going to need for the party. So I need to get back into meal planning now that the new year's here and all that. And this is going to really help me to do that, because I need to get all this cleared out. And then I also need to know what I have, so that way I'm not double buying again. I've shared here on YouTube and many times over on Instagram the app that I use to meal plan with. It is called Mealime. And the reason that I like it is, first of all, it's got great recipes in it. And then second of all, you can put in any of your preferences or anything that you're allergic to, or if you're on a special diet, you can put that into the app. And then what I really like about it is that it will calculate up any of the groceries that you need to pick up for the week for your recipe. This makes it really nice when it's time to go to the grocery store and you've already got your list made. So what I've been doing recently is I will see what meat that I got in from ButcherBox, and then I will plan the meals around that. So if I have chicken, I will look for the recipes in their search bar of different recipes for chicken, and then I choose my meals that way. So anyways, I really love the convenience of it all. I will link Mealime down in my description box. It's not an affiliate link, it's just one that I really like to use. So I'll link it down for you if you want to take a look at it. Now, again today, I'm only taking 15 minutes to get in here and get out all the stuff that is expired and that I'm not going to be using. This is not the time that I'm going to get in here and organize all this, even though I'm itching to. I'm dying to. You can tell that I'm dying to get in here and get this organized. But I'm really going to be sensible, and I'm only spending the 15 minutes to do this, because that's what I'm asking of you. So that's what I'm going to do. But I will be coming back and I'm going to totally organize this refrigerator the way that I actually like it. In my opinion, this looks like freezer burn to me. My husband is going to totally disagree, but you tell me, does that look like freezer burn to you? Here's another one that looks like total freezer burn to me. It's definitely something that my husband stuck in here. I'm not even sure what it is. I usually label my things. That one's not labeled, so that makes me think that he put it in here. But it looks like total freezer burn, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it away. But I guarantee he's not going to be very happy about it. Okay, so this right here is the handful of vegetables that were still good enough to put in here. Everything else was either outdated or it was frozen solid. So I did manage to save a few of them. Now my edamame, I always love those, and I cook the whole bag. So there's no need to, have to take out just a little handful. And those little ones right there, this whole time I thought those were meatballs when I stuck them out on the counter. Actually, those are cookies that I pre-portioned out to put right onto the cookie tray and cook them. So I could have used that for Christmas, but I thought they were meatballs. Anyways, okay, so now I know what meats that I have, and I have them all right here in this center drawer. I do have some in the bottom drawer as well. However, when I go to reorganize this, I think I'll put all the meat in the top drawer. It's a little bit deeper than this middle one. And then down here at the bottom, can be for, my husband likes to do like smoothies and things like that. So I'll put that stuff in here. And then some of the vegetables, the edamame, the few vegetables that I get. And I'm just going to have a lot more room in this freezer once I start cooking all this meat and, using the meat throughout the week. Now, I almost forgot inside the door here, I do have a couple of things. Let's see, I've got some more shrimp. And these right here are ice packs, for your headaches or things like that, if you bump your knee, things like that. And then this goes to show how much stuff is in here that's old. This is breast milk from my daughter who had her baby. He is now 5. So, okay, so here we are underneath my sink. And as you can tell, it's not too bad. Remember last year I did a big clean out underneath this sink and I got rid of the majority of my cleaners. Now, if you haven't seen that video, I'll go ahead and link it down in my description box and at the end of this video. So I've been really good at not bringing in too many products before I finish up what I've already got. I am a cleaning products enthusiast, and if I'm not careful, I'll have a whole host of products underneath here. So my biggest problem underneath this sink is that I tend to have 2 of the same things. I just showed you the Folex. I have 2 of those under here. And actually, I don't even need 1 under here because I keep all of my carpet cleaning products in the laundry room. So those need to be moved out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take everything out from underneath here. Now, typically, I would say that if you're decluttering, just go ahead and take out the things that you know that you don't want. However, I don't have a lot underneath here, and I know that it's going to take me less than 15 minutes to go ahead and take everything out. Then I'm going to go ahead and vacuum it real quick, wipe down any little spots, and then put my stuff back in. But if you look under your sink and you know that it's going to take you longer than 15 minutes, then just get in there and take out the things that you know that you're no longer using. And if you have doubles of things and you have a place that you can store the second item, then go ahead and take those out as well. And that container of magic erasers, I went ahead and I cut those into smaller pieces. I really like the magic eraser. However, I never use them here in the kitchen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to relocate those into my laundry room. In the back of the cabinet and behind these pull-out drawers is where I keep the products that I use on very rare occasions. So I'll be leaving a lot of these here, but I am going to get in, I'm going to vacuum and wipe up any spots that you might see. As you can see, I still haven't screwed that track for the drawer into the bottom of the cabinet yet. I don't know what's up with that. I still can't commit to it. Like, I don't like the drawers or something. I've been using them for over 3 years, so obviously I do like them, but I just can't commit. Anyways, they work just fine without screwing them into the bottom, so I'm just going to keep them the way that they are. I often get asked where I got these drawers, and I got them from Target. I'm not sure if they still have them. If they do, I'll link them down in the links below. But they're just simple pull-out drawers, metal pull-out drawers. I like that it has this little plastic on the bottom of it because it's just easier for me to clean, and also the products don't, you know, tip and twist and all that other stuff when it's in there. These are some of the cleaners that I'm taking out of here. The Folex is going to be going into the laundry room, and then the other things I have other ideas for. Like this right here, the Mrs. Meyer's baking soda cream cleaner. I really like it. I'm almost out of it. And I'm going to go ahead and move this into my bathroom because I have another product that I really like over this. And it is the Scrub Daddy's Power Paste. I really like this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this for inside the kitchen, and I'll use the other cream cleaner in the bathroom. And I also really like these disposable fresheners that you put down in your garbage disposal. Oh, these are really great. They smell really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and use that empty container that usually I hold SOSs in there, but I don't have any more. So I'm going to hold these in here. And I'll probably get a package or two more to go ahead and stick in the container too. I use them 2 or 3 times a week, so I go through them pretty quick. So I probably need to have some extra. Anyways, as you can see, I'm still adding more things to the back of the cabinet. These are the things that I only use on occasion. Some of it I only use once a year. Yes, I could put it in the garage, but it does really belong here in the kitchen, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it here in the kitchen. And then everything will fit right back in here. The drawers slide right back. Everything fits really well. And then I'll start putting my favorite products back into these drawers. These are the products that I reach for all the time. I don't even think I have one in here that I don't reach for at least once a day or once a week. So these are all my favorite products that you're going to see me putting back underneath here. Now I assumed all this time that I had double of the same product, but actually one of these, the one on the right there, that is a dishwasher cleaner. That is not the Jet Dry. So I'm going to go ahead and keep both of these in here so that way I can use that dishwasher cleaner next week when I clean my dishwasher, because I'll be in the kitchen for my zone cleaning, and I'll go ahead and clean the dishwasher with that. Okay, so I'm putting everything back over on this side. And on this side is where I keep all of my Dawn soaps. Anything that goes in the sink, in the garbage disposal, things like that, I keep over on this right side. And then the Power Paste, I'm going to also put that over here. Now what I'm going to show you here is that you don't want to set it sideways because water gets in there and you don't want it to spill out. So I like it to sit flat. So I'm going to have to maneuver all this around so that I can get this to sit flat on there. If you remember, not too long ago, I got rid of all these white microfiber cloths, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Now in this caddy is where I keep all of my sponges, my scrub daddies, scrub mommies, all those things. I also keep my brushes in here. So that little brush that I have left over there, I'm fixing to take it out. This one, I've always loved this brush. However, I'm not using it because I use the one that's up by my sink that has the little bubble tray. And this right here, I really love this. It's a squeegee for inside my sink. This is a keeper, and I'll link it for you down below. And this little brush that I'm fixing to hold up, I've always loved this brush. However, I'm not using it, and I haven't been using it in the last 6 months, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. And then I'll put my Scotch Brite back in here. This is the reason why I stopped using the SOS pads, is I got these Scotch Brites, and I like them better. And then right here on the edge is where I'll hang my gloves that I should be using more often, but at least I have them when I want to use them. Now over here on the other side is where I put all of my dish rags. So I just fold them up nicely and I stick them right over here. In this container is where I keep all of my microfiber cloths. I do have a handful of them that I have to wash, so It's not nearly as full as what it usually is. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of the orange and the green one. They have seen their better times, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. I do have a replacement that's coming in. I think I have 4 or 5 cloths that I have coming in soon. So I will be replacing those too. But I do have other microfiber cloths, but they are in the wash, including those ones that I use for my windows and my glass. I really love those, but that's also in the wash. And this right here is where I keep them. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the before so that way we can really enjoy the after. I have a lot more room in here. I was able to get rid of a handful of things. Some of them were duplicates. Other things I need to go ahead and just get rid of. This right here is what I was left. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you the utensil drawers that I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to open 4 drawers, and 3 of these will be working in today. The utensil drawer, I don't really have to do anything to it except for cut a tag off of something. But other than that one looks nice. So anyway, so many of you messaged me yesterday letting me know all the things that you got decluttered from underneath your kitchen sinks. And I'm just so happy that you all are doing this challenge with me. It's just really a fun time that we can all get together and get this done. So the majority of you are saying that the 15 minutes is a perfect amount of time for you. And then I have a few that are saying that you have a few areas in your house that's going to take longer than the 15 minutes. And that's fine. You can go ahead and set your timer for 30 minutes if you have the time. Tomorrow I have something that's much larger that's going to take me longer than 15 minutes. However, I'm only going to allot myself 15 minutes because that is my goal, is to only use 15 minutes a day to get rid of the clutter. So I'm going to rush in there tomorrow and get out as much as I can. And I'll show you that tomorrow when you come back. All right, so we're starting right here in this drawer. I keep a lot of my pot holders in here. This right here is to hold hot bowls. My daughter got those off of Etsy for me. I really like those. And then I have a lot of my, my measuring spoons, measuring cups, things like that. I recently purchased these measuring spoons. They have a magnet on them. It keeps them all together. I really like those. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of my other measuring spoons. I also have a couple of the measuring cups, like that one right there. The other ones, I use those in my rice container and things like that. But the 1/3 cup, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. And then I'm going to get rid of those blue ones that are, they fold down or they collapse. And then these right here are all Christmas. So I'm going to stick those in with my Christmas buckets because there's no need for me to have these in the drawer throughout the year. So I'm going to go ahead and stick them in the Christmas buckets. Now, as you can tell, the drawer really needs to be cleaned out. I need to pull everything out and wipe it out. But that's going to take me longer than the 15 minutes that I'm allotting. So I'm only going to be taking things out of these drawers today. And then I'll come back later and I'm going to clean the drawers. And I'm also going to get new organizers for these drawers because these ones are just not working for me. I don't know. I like to keep my pot holders in here and they don't really fit into these containers. And a lot of the other products don't fit in there either. So I might either take one of those containers out and then use the other side where there's no container to put my pot holders. That way I can slide that white one over. Or I just might buy a whole new one. Or I'm going to pick up some more of those spring-loaded dividers. I have them in my other drawers. You'll see them here in a minute. And just go ahead and divide this drawer in half. I like the spring holder dividers because it matches the inside of the drawer, so it looks very custom that way. Okay, so here's everything I purged out of the drawers. Now the Christmas ones will go in the Christmas box and everything else I'm going to discard. And this right here is my whole collection of wooden spoons. I love these wooden spoons and the spurtles and the spatulas. However, I really don't use them that often because they're more difficult to wash. But they really look pretty over here in this corner, so I like to use them as decor. But in my real life, I like to use the silicone spatulas and spoons, and the majority of them are here in this drawer. So I'm going to go ahead and get in here and take out these wooden utensils. I'm no longer using these since I have the new ones. Also, you don't want to put these in the dishwasher because they break down in the dishwasher. Anyway, so I'm going to be getting rid of those wooden ones. And then I'm going to keep going through here and taking out the things that I'm no longer using or moving them over to where they actually belong. Now I'm hearing a lot of things about the metal on this meat pounder thingy, whatever you want to call it. Words are hard for me today again. Anyways, I'm hearing a lot of things about that metal, that it might be leaching out lead. And my stand mixer, the paddles have that same metal. So I'm looking into getting different paddles, the stainless steel paddles, because I'm a little concerned about the reports that I'm hearing. Have you heard anything about this? Okay, so this little tool helps to clean my cast iron skillet. I have a little pot holder that you put on the handle of a cast iron skillet over here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep these over here. And then these right here are my salad tongs. I'm going to go ahead and put them in over here. All right, so now we are in the utensil drawer that holds all of my knives. I really probably should get a larger knife block. Because as you can see, I have a lot more knives than I do spots to put the knives. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to rearrange these and try to get them to fit a little bit better. And then I think there's 1 or 2, maybe 3 things that I pull out of here. So I'll show you here in just a bit. So here we go. I'm left with a random knife, an apple core that my husband still uses, but I'm going to put in a different location, and a little piece that goes to our dishwasher. All right, so before I set my timer, I'm going to get underneath this cabinet and I'm going to show you what I've got going on. So this is more like a backstock cabinet. It holds all my extra spices and also the spices that I use to refill the canisters in my pantry. I'll show you those in a second. And it also holds all of my baking spices. So right here are the jars that I reach for on a daily basis, using some of those spices that's underneath the cabinet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set my timer, and then we're going to get started. All right, so I replaced my can opener with one that is much easier for me to use. This thing oftentimes doesn't grab the top off, and I have all sorts of problems with this can opener. So I bought this one, and it's an electric one, and you just stick it on top and it cuts the top off. I also like that it cuts the top off so that there's not a sharp edge. And you can put the lid right back on the can if you need to. I do this like with the dog food. Okay, and in this container is where I keep my toaster. It keeps the crumbs out from underneath the cabinet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull out one container at a time, and I'm going to check the dates on the majority of these things. And some of them I know that are outdated, and some of them I know that I absolutely do not use. So I'm just going to put those to the side. And then I will have a small little pile that I will give to one of my daughters. For Christmas, we made prime rib, and I put this Herbes de Provence on it, and wow, it was fabulous. Someone recommended that to me, and I will definitely be using that several times over. It's got a lot of good little spices in it, and one of the ones that's in there is lavender, which I thought was weird, but I'm telling you, it tasted really good. So I'm showing you that these are peppercorns. If you have a spice that is in its whole, or it's in its seed, or it's not ground or something like that, they last much longer than these other spices. And typically spices do last a long time. However, they do lose their flavor, they lose their smell, things like that. So I get rid of the really old spices. And also, I'm not using the majority of these spices, and I really don't want to carry them around. So I will see which ones my daughters want and pass those on to them. And whatever's not wanted, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it away. I know that's wasteful, but seriously, I'm tired of having these underneath the cabinet. I've got 4 containers underneath there, and it's just too much. So it's time to get rid of this stuff. I also need that space to put other things. I'm thinking about putting all of my like my crock pot and things like that underneath there, because right now I have that inside my pantry and it's just taking up space. So I really could use this cabinet for other things. So I want to get in here and get rid of the majority of these spices. The reason why I'm only pulling out 1 container at a time is because I have 15 minutes allotted to do this job. So I want to use that 15 minutes efficiently and get rid of the things that I don't need in that container. And then I'll pull out another container. That way, if at the end of the 15 minutes I still have a container left, I'll have to come back to that at another time, because I honestly really only want to spend 15 minutes underneath this cabinet. That's the whole goal of this whole 30-day challenge, is to try to keep it at 15 minutes. So I'm going to do that here. Anyways, I noticed that I have several smoky paprikas in here. It's because I keep buying them over and over because they're underneath this cabinet and I don't know that I have that many. So this is really going to help to cut down on buying extra products that I don't need because I already have it. I also have 3 daughters and they like to cook over here too. So some of these spices came from them and they just left them here. So like the Creole, my daughter had a huge, is it a shrimp boil? No, it's a crawfish boil over here. I personally don't like crawfish, but for her baby shower, she had a huge crawfish boil. So I have a lot of the products from that baby shower. Now, that little boy, who is Chase, is now 5 years old. So those spices are definitely going in the trash. And then I just put that one down. What's it called? Tahine sauce or something like that. I bought that for something. I don't remember what, but it's fairly new. So I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side and give it to one of my daughters. This right here is something that Madeline gave me to bake beans with. I used part of it and then the rest has just been sitting in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Now I'm putting all the things back in this container, but I'm going to go ahead and combine them all into one container and try to minimize the amount of containers that I have underneath that cabinet. Okay, so let me clarify real quick. A lot of these things are spices that my husband uses when he cooks on the pit out in the backyard by the pool. I do have, some things that I use to refill my spice jars that are in the pantry, but the majority of this really belongs to my husband out there by the pool. But you can't keep it outside because it's humid here and those spices would go bad out there. So I keep them underneath this cabinet for him. But now he's going to be able to see what he has. But I am checking the dates on a lot of these because they've been sitting under there. And I want him just to have the fresh things. Anyway, so I wanted to clarify that that's the reason why I still have so many left over. And then I also have a container that's just for my baking stuff. And you'll see that here in just a second. Okay, so here is my baking container. I also have a lot of chopped pecans and some chocolate chip morsels that I'll be putting in this container too. So here's a little story on that organic cocoa powder. I know that some of you don't follow me over on Instagram, so I was going to share this story with you. Our Olive Grace, when I was making, all of my cookies and things that I was passing out to the neighbors, I made some homemade brownies with that cocoa powder. And it calls for a lot of cocoa powder. Anyway, so I made some homemade brownies and I had them on the counter waiting to cool. And my daughter asked me to go somewhere with her, so I went with her. And I came back and I noticed that the brownies were gone. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Michael must have gotten into them and put them in the refrigerator, which they weren't supposed to go in the refrigerator. So I asked him about it, and we realized that Olive Grace had gotten into the brownies. And not only did she eat the brownies, she also ate her dinner after that. And we called the poison control, and we had to force her to throw up. They do all these measurements. They ask you what's in, what kind of powder. They want to know the brand and everything. And then you give them the measurements of everything that was in the brownies. And then they do some sort of math to figure out, her weight and how much she had and how much would be poisonous to her. Well, in fact, it was poisonous to her. So we had to force her to throw up. And the way that they do that is they have you give them, I think it's 4 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide. Now remember, this goes with the weight of your dog, so don't try this unless you call them first. Anyway, so we gave her 4 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide, and then we had to take her outside and run her up and down the street because you want to shake up her stomach so that the hydrogen peroxide fizzes up and causes her to throw up. Well, we did that, and at first she didn't throw up, so my husband and I thought we would just give her another couple of tablespoons, which we probably shouldn't have done without asking first, but we did it. And sure enough, she started throwing up, which was all over my carpet. She tried so bad to make it to the slider so that she can go outside, but she just couldn't. So I got all that cleaned up, but yeah, she was not good. The next day we ended up having to take her in because she was salivating a lot and she was panting. So she did end up with chocolate toxicity, which was not good. She was sick for several days, didn't want to eat. She lost some weight. So anyways, be very careful with chocolate, especially dark chocolate, because it has a lot of the cacao in it, which is not good for dogs. I was so worried during the Christmas party that she would get a hold of one of the grandkids' cookies or things like that. So I kept her in the bedroom, which she was not happy about because she loves her family and she loves to be with the family. But I was so worried about all that chocolate. So anyways, be very careful with your chocolate. That's the moral of the story. Okay, so I condensed all that down to 2 baskets. So I had 4 baskets in the 1 white basket, and I condensed it down to 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean out this white basket, and I'm going to use it to hold the toaster because the other one is a little bit small, so the toaster doesn't fit flat in it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this, and we'll use this. I was very surprised that I was able to get through all those spices in 15 minutes. And you're going to see that I'm also able to even clean out from underneath the cabinet. So I've been dreading this for so long of getting underneath this cabinet because to me it was going to take a long time. I really believe that setting the timer for 15 minutes pushes you to get things done. There's just a lot less of thinking about things, you know what I mean? And here are those metal beaters that I was telling you about yesterday, that they say that it might be leaching lead into your food. So I'm looking to replace all of these. If you've heard anything about this, let me know down in the comments. Anyways, okay, we're down to 4 minutes and 42 seconds to get underneath this cabinet and get it clean. So I'm going to quickly get in here and vacuum up all the loose things, and then I'll wipe it out and get my stuff put back in here. Okay, so in this drawer is where I have all of my plasticware. This is the drawer that my grandkids get into when they come over. It's got their plates and their bowls and their cups and spoons and everything else. Now at your house, you may have completely different types of plasticware. I have 18 grandkids, about to have 19, so I have a lot of these plates and bowls to accommodate them. But you might have maybe the plastic cups that come from fast food restaurants, or plasticware that you eat on, or the cups that look like glass, but they're actually plastic. Maybe today would be a good time for you to get in there and start decluttering all of that. Okay, so I've set my timer for 15 minutes. It's going to take me much less than 15 minutes to do these drawers, or actually it's one drawer, but it's only going to take me just a few minutes to get it done. I also have the opportunity to go ahead and wipe it out. So what I'm going to do is I stacked all these plates by color, and I've decided just to keep one of each color. Now, I do have a lot of boy, girl, evenly spaced grandkids. And when they come over, they want a boy color or they want a girl color. So I'm going to be sure that I have enough so that they can have that. And of course, it's very rare that I have 18 grandkids over here at one time. So I really don't need all these plates and bowls. The majority of them have not even been used before. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. If I need more, I can just use paper plates for the kids. So anyways, that's what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and divide them up by color. And then I'll do the same thing with the bowls. I really like this set right here. I used this with my little Chase when he was staying with me when Mom used to work. And these were the plates that I used to use. However, none of the kids use it anymore, and Chase is now 5, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. And then I have all these little sippy cups. There's a few that I really like these right here. These are perfect for my little guys. They can carry them around the house and I don't have to worry about it spilling. And then these ones right here, some of them prefer to have the little suction thing, so I'm going to go ahead and keep these two. And you'll notice that I have a lot of purple and a lot of green, because when I used to take care of Chase, his color was green, and then his cousin, my little Lyndon, we had her stuff is purple. So I have purple and green things in here. That's the reason why. I don't need the baby bottles over here, so I'm going to go ahead and give those back to the parents that they belong to. And I love these little squeezy things right here. I can put fresh banana in there, or some apple if I puree it. Anything pureed I can stick in there, and then the little ones squeeze it or suck it out of there. It's kind of like those little squeezy packs, except for you can put fresh food in there. So I'm going to keep these. Then I'm going to also go through all that silverware. I don't need that much, and so I'm going to go ahead and divide that up too. Now these are my Tupperware cups that I bought recently. Back in the day, these are the cups that we used to use with our little ones, and I really like them. I did notice that a blue one is missing, so I need to ask the moms if anybody took a blue one home. But anyways, I really do like those cups. They cost a lot of money, but I really don't think that my grandkids like them that much, to be honest with you. They're not used to those type of cups. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and keep them. Maybe some of my newer grandbabies will like to use those since they're not used to the other cups yet. This bottle here I didn't recognize at all, so I went ahead and took a picture of it and sent it to all the moms to find out whose bottle this belonged to. I'm looking at that yellow little SpongeBob spoon, and I used to use that with my very first grandson. He's now 15. So I can't believe I've had it that long, and yes, I'm going to be getting rid of it because we're not using it. I really don't like to hold on to things just to hold on to them. But I'm going to go ahead and pull out some of the plasticware that goes with those plates and the bowls. Now I'm taking a good hard look at this spoon because it doesn't belong in here. It actually belongs in my nice silverware that I use for Christmas and get-togethers and things like that. So I've been looking for it, and somebody must have put it down in here. I almost didn't even recognize it. It's kind of a weird shape. It almost looks like a baby spoon, but I'll go ahead and relocate it to the silverware drawer. This little brush I use to clean the straw of a couple of little cups that I used to have, but I can't find them, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the straw. So tell me, how's the 30-day declutter doing for you? Are you guys able to set your timer for 15 minutes and get in there and pull out the things that you're not using or needs to be relocated somewhere else? I'm getting a lot of messages from you guys, and I'm so excited that you guys are doing this along with me. It's only 15 minutes a day, super easy. We're just going to get in and get out. I'm not asking you to organize or anything like that. We got to get in here and we got to get our stuff out first before we go back and organize it. So I hope you guys are having a good time doing this. I appreciate having you guys along for the ride while I do it in my own home. So I'm not just telling you how to do this, I'm actually doing it with you because I have so many hidden areas in my home that has clutter, and I'm ready to get it out, start the new year with, not totally clutter-free because it's not always going to be, clutter-free, but just get the majority of it out so that way when I go back and I do my zone cleaning, it's easier to clean when you don't have these little hidden areas that have clutter. So I'm so glad that you guys are doing this with me. I'm checking to see if the drawer will close if I have those plates standing up like that, and it does. So I'm going to go ahead and stand these up. And what I'm noticing is I have a lot of room now. So I'm going to show you here in just a little bit that I have a drawer that I put all of the kids' snacks into. So when the grandkids come over, they have a specific drawer that they can go into, and they have all these kinds of snacks. And yes, the parents allow me to put whatever I want to in there. They may, kind of give me a little frown like, seriously, Mom? But I'm a Grammy, and I want to give them not only healthy snacks, but I want to give them little treats too. So I've got all the snacks in there. I do need to totally refill it, and you'll see it. It's almost completely empty now, so I need to go in and refill it. But I'm noticing that I have a lot of room here, so I might be able to empty one whole drawer now and have the plates and the cups and the spoons and things in here along with their snacks. So stay tuned for that because I might be doing that in the near future. So here's that snack drawer I was talking about. Like I said, it's almost completely empty, but I can just move some of these bins down below, and then the kids will have snacks down there. Okay, so let's take a quick look of the drawer before we cleaned it out. That way we can really enjoy the after. Okay, so I'm going to show you the two cabinets that I'm going to be working in before I go over and start working on the coffee cups. So I have the majority of my dishes here. I like it just the way it is, my black dishes, my white dishes. But right up there at the top, I have a lot of cups that I'm no longer using. The coffee cups I don't use, and there's a bowl up there I want to get rid of. And right in here, I got a gift of some glassware, and I really have never used them. They're very pretty, but they're really not my type. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take all that glassware out. All right, so let's start right here in my coffee drawer. Now, if you've been with me a while, you know I have been working my way through this coffee drawer. Slowly but surely, I'm getting rid of more and more coffee cups. Now, my husband is still very resistant at getting rid of things, so I'm not just going to go and take his things and give it away. However, I am going to have him take it and put it in his office. And I think that maybe if I do this enough times and he sees the amount of things that he thinks is very important, then maybe he might be more willing to get rid of things. So I'm no longer going to keep all these things in our living spaces, and I will designate some spaces in his office for his things. So maybe that will work. We'll see. So I've been getting a lot of messages from you guys and some tags over on Instagram of all the things that you've decluttered. And I'm so proud of you guys, and I'm so pleased that you guys are doing this with me. I know I said that in yesterday's video, but anyways, again, I'm just so pleased that you guys are doing this with me. It just feels like I have friends along with me for the ride. So anyways, all right, so I'm just vacuuming all this out. I get asked about this little vacuum a lot, and it finally came back on Amazon, so I will link it below for you. But it's a little, what do they call it? A keyboard vacuum. I guess so you can vacuum your keyboard. I use it in the kitchen. But anyways, it's a handy little vacuum. You do have to plug it in like into a USB. It doesn't just plug straight into the wall. You plug it into the USB and then you charge it. So anyways, the charge lasts a long time, and I really like it. It's a cute little thing. Okay, so this is my favorite mug, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in. I use it every morning. I also like the Enjoy the Journey mug. And then the Best Grammy mug, I love it, but it's hard to drink out of because of the shape of it. So I'm going to use this over on my desk, and I'm going to put my pins in it because, of course, I love it. It says Best Grammy Ever. Of course, I love it. So, and Michael and I went to the Kelly and Ryan show. I really do like these cups. I like the shape of them. However, I'm going to go ahead and store them elsewhere. This one I'm going to go ahead and give away. And then let's see what else. Oh, we got these from Kona Island. I really like that. They have little bottoms that you can put on the bottom of them, but I have them stored over with the other coffees. That one's my husband's mug, and then this is his big Alaska mug that he likes to use. So, and then these other black cups match my black dishes that I just got. And I really like these mugs. I like the handle on the mugs. So you're going to notice that I give away the white mugs that go with my white dishes. And it's because of the shape and size of the actual mug. It's not worth it for me to hold on to them because nobody likes to drink out of them anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those here in just a bit. Okay, so I'm going to get in here and I'm going to separate out these pods. I've been holding on to some decaf pods, thinking that maybe somebody will come over that wants decaf. I haven't had that yet, so I've had them in here a good 2 or 3 years, so I think it's about time to get rid of them. So I'm trying to figure out what this goes to. It says it goes to a bottom of a bottle or something like that, so I'm going to check and see if maybe it might belong to Madeline, because it looks like something that would go on her glass bottles. And then I have some other things in here, like the little black thing that I put there that goes on the bottom of one of those coffee cups that I was talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to vacuum this out, and then I'll refill it with more coffee because that's what I like to drink early in the morning. My husband does get up and he makes coffee. However, I'm up a good hour, hour and a half before he is. So I like to make myself a single cup before he gets up. Anyways, and then these other coffees, we get them from Kauai, and they are different flavors. And occasionally I'll make one of those in the morning. These go to the coffee grinder, so I'm going to go ahead and stick them back in here. That way if my husband needs them, they'll be underneath all the coffee pods that I'm about to pour on top of them. So this is my box of coffee that I keep into my backstock area that's in my laundry room. We are going to be organizing that here soon. Well, actually, we're going to be decluttering it here soon, and then later we'll go back and organize it. So anyways, we will be in the laundry room soon enough, and you'll get to see all the things that I have on those shelves. It's not pretty, trust me. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at the before, see the amount of coffee cups I have, and then now we're going to go to the after, and you're going to get to see that I've cut down quite a bit on the coffee mugs. Look at there. And I don't know if you remembered it before, but this whole thing used to be full of coffee mugs. I'm very proud of myself. And my husband, because he's going to have his in his office. Anyways, okay. So now we're going to get into the cabinet with my dishes, and I'm going to get up here at the top, and I'm going to pull all these things down. I don't use any of these things. They've just been sitting there taking up space, and it's time to get rid of them. To encourage myself to drink more water, I bought these water containers so that I can carry it around. Now my daughter bought me the Stanley water container, the one that keeps it really cold, and ever since then I drink a lot of water. And so now I don't need all these because I don't use them. I just use my Stanley. I also use, and you'll see them in my glassware, I also use these glass cups. It's got a bamboo top and a glass straw. I use those at night, and just when I'm around the house, I carry my Stanley everywhere else. But my glass ones, if I'm using that, I drink a lot of water for some reason. Don't ask me why. Maybe because it's a little fancy. I don't know. Okay, so this is a fancy little tea cup that I bought that's got the little strainer in it. And I have some fancy loose leaf tea that's over in the other cabinet. You'll see it up at the top. I'm going to go ahead and see if my mother-in-law wants this. I thought maybe that I'd like tea, but apparently I don't, and I haven't been drinking it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to my mother-in-law. Okay, so here's all the white dishes that I'm going to be getting rid of. The white cups, you can see they're kind of small and skinny. The handle is really thin. And this bowl, I have bowls that are almost like it, but not quite. I like these bowls here because they have a flat bottom. It's not quite as rounded as that one, so it doesn't match. Anyways, and then over here are where the glasses are that I'm going to be taking out. These ones I actually like. They have a heavy bottom to it, and they have like a little dimple that you can put your thumbs into and all that. Anyways, this is the one that I'm going to be getting rid of. It's kind of twisted. It's a little more delicate. Very pretty, but it really doesn't go along with my type of stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and take out all those delicate ones. The taller glasses are up at the top, so I'll be getting up there and getting those down. But you're also going to see that I'm going to call Bethany and see if she would like to have these at her house, because it looks like something that she would like to have in her house. However, she does end up telling me that she doesn't need them. So I packaged them up in that coffee box that I poured all the coffees out of. I used that box and I packaged up all this glassware to take to Goodwill. The glass pitcher and plates up there belongs to my mother-in-law. She didn't have a spot for it in her casita, so I said that I would hold on to them for her, and we just pull them out when she needs them. Okay, so now I'm going to FaceTime Bethany and see if she'd like to have any of these things. We are almost a week into this declutter challenge, and I already have a couple of bags and a couple of medium boxes in the back of my car full of all the things that I'm going to be taking to donate. So the challenge is really working for me. I hope it's really working for you. Okay, so now we're here and we're going to be working on our storage containers. I would say in the past couple of years, I have switched over all of my plasticware into glassware. So I did this for health reasons. I have a daughter who's very crunchy, and she's constantly telling me the things that I shouldn't be doing. So she told me that I need to be switching over to glassware. So I've done that. I do still have plastic storage containers that I put in the refrigerator. However, I do not cook in them. I don't heat them up. I hand wash them, things like that. So that way they don't leach any of whatever chemicals the plastic has in them. So now a lot of these dishes belongs to my daughter, and I'll show you which ones are hers, and I'm going to be putting them into a bag to send back to her. And then I have, I think, 4 in here that I'm going to be passing on to my other daughter that doesn't have a lot of glassware. She's got the plasticware, so I'm going to try to turn her on to all the glassware. So I'm going to be donating some of the glassware over to her, and I'll show you which ones those are here in a minute. So what I'm doing now is I'm making sure that I have all the tops to the containers that I'm going to keep. And then I also am going to show you that I have a couple of tops that have cracked. Now I do wash these in the dishwasher. The plastic I wash in the top rack, and I don't use high heat, and I don't dry them in high heat. See, like this one right here, it's cracked right here on the edge. Yes, I know it's blurry, but anyways, it's cracked right here on the edge. Now you can get on Amazon, and you can buy replacement lids for Pyrex and the other glass. I think it's Anchor. I think they're pretty much universal, but here I have Pyrex dishes, and I have Anchor, I think that's called Anchor brand dishes, and you can buy the replacements tops for those. So I will be replacing a couple of those tops. Now, the tops that you see that are blue, that's got the little handles on the side, those ones belong to Madeline. And I honestly have a very difficult time opening and closing those. And you'll see when I go to do that, that I'm having a difficult time. I don't know why. I don't think it's because of my RA. I just think that they're just more difficult for me. I don't know. Maybe they are for you. You don't have to tell me if you have them, if it's difficult for you. Anyways, here's another cracked one. So I'll be replacing this one, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it until I get the replacement in. All right, so let's keep going through all the glass, and then I'll be sure that I have all the tops, and then I'll get everything else all packaged up that needs to go to my daughters. All right, so these are Madeline's containers that I can't get the ding-darn lids on. You'll see I am squeezing and doing everything I can to try to get these on. And yes, I can get 1 or 2 of them latched, but I can't get them all latched. And I certainly don't want to crack the glass, and I'm afraid that I'm going to do that if I'm too rough with it. So I go ahead and I try to latch as many as I can so that way I can go ahead and get them to her. But you'll see it's difficult. So I'll tell you, a few days ago, I really hurt my back. I think I did it when I took down the Christmas tree My husband was there to help me, but I don't know. I must have twisted wrong or something, and I really hurt my lower back. So I'm in a lot of pain at night. I've been using a heating pad and taking my Tylenol, things like that to try to help. Epsom baths, TENS unit. I've been using the TENS unit quite often on my back. But anyways, yes, I hurt it pretty daggum bad. It's not feeling too bad today when I'm filming this, but now it's in the evening when I'm doing my voiceover, and it's starting to hurt again. So anyways, you'll see me being very ginger with my back here in a little bit. You may not even notice it, but I do. Anyways, so you'll see me being ginger with my back possibly. So instead of going to the grocery store today, I went ahead and I did a pickup. So Michael just left to go do the pickup. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to shop and pick up things to put into the cart. So Michael went to pick that up, and he'll bring them in for me. And hopefully I can get this voiceover done before he gets back. Now these containers I bought from one of our grandkids' school fundraiser. I like them, but I don't love them. So I'm going to go ahead and pass these on to Bethany. I think she'll really like them. And like I said, I'm trying to convert her over to glassware. So this is a good place to start. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in 2 separate bags and then take one to Bethany's house and the other one to Madeline's house. Speaking of Madeline, that poor girl has got morning sickness so bad. And not only that, it looks like maybe she and little Waverly have the flu. So they've both been so sick. And if you guys would just say a little prayer for them, I would so appreciate it. Okay, so here in my bottom drawer, I have these dividers. Now these dividers are taller than the regular dividers. That's why I bought these. I'm going to take them out to show you. I think that they're 5 inches tall. I needed something taller in this deep drawer, and I was able to find some on Amazon. I will link them down below for you if you need some. Anyways, these are very tight, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is, now that I don't have the extra storage containers, I can scoot one of those dividers over, and then I can stack everything up. And then I take the lids that can fit when you shut the drawer. It will still fit standing up, and I put them in the smaller little section there. You'll see that I stand them up and I kind of squish them in. Now, I wish that I could have one of those storage containers where you put the lids and it stands the lids up, but I can't because this drawer isn't deep enough for that, believe it or not. But this drawer is not deep enough for that, so I cannot do that. So I go ahead and I just stick it in this little area here, and then you'll see that I'll bring them closer together. So that way everything is a little closer together, but I can still get things out. So, and then on the other side, I have a lot more room for other things. Now, I will be putting the white little dish in. I think you put like peanuts and things like that in it. I'll put that back down in here. But if I have something else that, needs to go somewhere else, I have a perfect spot right here for that. I've shared this before, but in my life, I need a junk drawer. Now, I have one drawer that I allow myself to put things into if I don't know what it is or where it goes. And then I come back to this drawer every so often and I do a final call on what's in there. Today, we're going to be doing that. But first, this right here is my organized junk drawer, or for a lack of a better word, I'm not sure what to call it, but I call it my organized junk drawer. I keep things in here that we need and we use quite often, but yet they don't relate to each other, and they also don't have another place to call home, so I go ahead and I put them in here. Now, I'm going to take out the things that don't belong in here, and then I'm going to put stuff back into their spots. So tell me, do you have a junk drawer? Do you have an organized junk drawer? Or are you like me and you have both? Since we started doing this declutter challenge the last 9 days, and I've been posting here every single day, I have gotten a lot of new subscribers, and I just want to welcome y'all here. I just hit 3,000 subscribers, and I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so I know that many of my YouTube friends have surpassed this long ago. Y'all know my sweet friend, Robin Lane Lowe, and no, we're not related, but we are good friends. She just hit 6,000. And then my other dear friend, Jenny of Cleaning Therapy, she's up in numbers now. I'm not sure where she's at, but she's way high. And then Ashley Phelps, she's formerly Busy Little Blondies. She's just under 5,000 now. So, I'm really, really happy for them, and they really are dear friends of mine. And, I could sit back and I could whine, and actually I've caught myself doing that, but I always go back to remembering my prayers. So when I started this channel in March of 2020, my heart was to encourage women to reclaim the peace in their lives. And we were all in such a scary place in the world, and I just wanted to share advice. In the many chapters of my life, I was on a rocky ship. I had no control of the motion of the waves, but I found that I could create peace for myself and my children by setting up routines to clean and maintain a tidy home. And I learned to declutter and organize, and I also learned to practice self-care. Many of you know that I have an anxiety and panic disorder. I talk about it quite often on here, and I also talk about it over on Instagram. But what you don't know is I also have PTSD. I've been through a traumatic event in my life that I have talked about a little bit on here and more over on Instagram. But I have found that to help with these anxieties and panic, I have to practice self-care. And a lot of my self-care comes with having a clean and tidy home. I'm not talking about a perfect home, and certainly not a Pinterest perfect home. I'm talking about just a clean and tidy home that I can feel comfortable in, and that I feel comfortable having my family in. I would never promote perfection. Even yesterday when I was cleaning out that freezer, you could see that I have areas in my home that are not perfect. They're not even the least bit perfect. That was a disaster area, and it was embarrassing for me to show. However, it is reality, and I don't want to give the impression that you need to be perfect. I have younger mothers on my channel, as well as I have 3 daughters, and I want them to be encouraged by what they see and hear on my channel, and not discouraged because they don't think that they can measure up to perfection. So when I started this channel, I prayed that God would bring women who needed to hear what I had a passion to talk about. And I believe that all 3,000 of you are not here because I said anything fancy, or I did anything fancy, or I showed anything fancy, but you're here because God gave me a skill that sustained me when life was hard. Okay, so this right here is my junk drawer. I do keep these little SCENTSYs here because I had a SCENTSY pot that was in here. If you remember, there was one right here on my kitchen counter. But now I've relocated that, so I'm going to relocate the SCENTSYs. But the 2 containers in the back are full of things that are would be considered junk. But I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to categorize it, and then I'm going to take out the things that don't belong in here. And I'm going to throw out the things that, I've been holding on to and we don't know what it is or where it goes. And obviously nobody's come in here to get it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it out. So let's get in here and get this cleaned up. I'm going to keep those screws right there because I need them to put the drawer pulls on my cabinets. The drawer pulls do come with a screw. However, it's not long enough for these cabinets. So I went ahead and I bought these universal screws. And these are pretty cool because you can break off the tip for however long you need your screw head to be. So anyways, I'm going to keep those there because we still have some other drawers around the house that we need to put the new drawer pulls on. And I'm going to leave the coins there until I can find a better place to put coins. Do you hold on to coins? I used to hold on to coins. I used to have a big bucket that I used to keep coins in, but now people really don't have a lot of coins. So I need to figure out a new place to put coins. So how many cookbooks do you have, and how many cookbooks do we really need? This is my stack of cookbooks, and honestly, I really don't need any of them. However, I do like to use them for decor. So I'm going to show you the 4 different books that I rotate through during the seasons. The magnolia table, I really like it, but honestly, I've never cooked anything out of it. Have you? And then this next one is the one that I set out for the holidays. It's got a lot of delicious cookies in it, but guess what? I never used it once. Not one time this year did I use any of the recipes out of this cookbook. I got all my recipes off of Pinterest. And then I really like the colors of this book, so I usually pull this out around spring. Now I have tried a couple of recipes in that book. And then my final one is my No Crumbs, what is it called? No Crumbs Left. This one really looks like fall to me, so I put it out in the fall. And then these two books I bought for my husband. He likes to have smoothies. This one right here is for juicing and for smoothies. The pictures are all gorgeous. And I think that there might be one or maybe two that he's made out of here. And then the smoothie Bible, not as pretty inside. However, in the front of it, it's got a few recipes that are really good for, like, if you have, let's see, that one says skin conditions. Forget that one right there. We've got Parkinson's disease. We've got migraines. And then a recipe for one for menopause. Oh, your girl needs that one. And this Rachel Ray cookbook, I used to use it all the time. I used to really like her 30-minute meal TV show that was on. And I don't know if that's still on anymore, but I really like that show. So I got this book. And there are several recipes in here that were very, very good. One in particular is a chicken cacciatore recipe. I'm trying to look in the back of the book to see if I can find it, and I could not find the recipe while I was looking. However, I do end up finding it, and I take a picture of it. You'll see me doing that here in a minute. So tell me, are you still using cookbooks, or have you moved on to something else? You know that I'm using my Mealime app, and that's what I use the majority of the time. And occasionally I will get recipes off of Pinterest. So these cards you get when you order Blue Apron, and I also have some for HelloFresh in here. Now, I think it was last year that I organized all of these. There are several meals in here that were really, 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 really good. Really good. And the reason that I saved the Blue Apron ones there is because we were doing the Weight Watchers, and it has all the points and everything on it. So I saved those so that I could remake those meals. However, I've never done it. I organized them all, but I never cooked any of the recipes from there. So I'm getting rid of the whole stack. There's no need for me to be holding on to those all this time. So what you're seeing me do now is I'm taking pictures of the recipes that I like out of the book. And then I'll save those photos on my phone and put them in my folder that's labeled recipes. And in doing this, I'm now able to donate the book and save myself some space in my home. Okay, so the first appliance that I'm going to go ahead and declutter out of my kitchen is my Instant Pot. Now, when this first came out, I used it all the time, but you know, I never really found a recipe that I love in the Instant Pot, with the exception of boiled eggs. And now I get those at Costco, so I really don't need the Instant Pot, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go. I showed you this before, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this can opener. Now, I got this can opener for my mother right before she passed away, and I inherited it back when she did pass away. But it's beginning to rust, and it's seen its better days, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. But I think I'll go ahead and throw it in the trash because of the rust that it has on it. But let me show you what I replaced it with. This is the Kitchen Mama cordless can opener, and I really like this one. It does not have that sharp blade, and what I really like about it is when it cuts the top off, it's cutting underneath the lid, so it leaves a little lip that you can stick the top back on the can if you need to. No sharp edges here. I will put a link to this one down in my description box. Okay, and this appliance right here is a vegetable spiralizer. Now, there was a time that I used to like to make zoodles, and if you've ever seen the small handheld zoodle, it's very hard to use. So I went ahead and I got this larger one because I was having to make large batches of them. I had a lot of family that lived with us, so I had to make large batches. So this was just easier for me to use. However, I only used it for zucchini. I didn't use it for all the other things that you can use it for, like for carrots and I don't know, you can make all kinds of things with this. It makes ribbon noodles and, you know, all with vegetables. So it's really cool, but I don't use it. And now it's just my husband and I can just get a handheld one if I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go too. All right, so I was influenced, and I'm sure that you may have gotten influenced to buy the Bissell Steam Shot. Now, this is a good appliance, don't get me wrong, I've done lots of things with it that I really, think that it did help me. However, I don't use it enough. If I used it more, then it would make more sense for me to keep it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to bag this up, and my daughter Bethany wants to have it. That's really going to work out in my favor, because the times that I need to use it, which is like once or twice a year, I can just borrow it from her, and she gets to store it at her house. Anyways, my daughters and I like to do that. One of us will buy an appliance and then hold it at their house, and then we all just borrow it from that person. And that way we're not all having the same appliance at our house. So like right now, I have Bethany's small carpet cleaner that I use on my rugs. But then when I need to borrow a bigger carpet cleaner, I go to Madeline's house. They can hold those and I can borrow them. And then it goes the other way too. I have things that they like to borrow, but they don't want to store at their house. So one of us buys an appliance and then we all share that appliance. So this right here is going to Bethany's house and she is super happy. Okay, so here's all the things that I'm getting out of the house on day 11. I have gathered so many things and it's really exciting. So the Bissell's going to Bethany's house, the can opener's going in the trash, and the spiralizer and the Instant Pot are going to be donated. All right, so these are the microfiber cloths that I'm going to be decluttering today, and I'm going to replace them with this brand. There is a cleaning lady that's on Instagram. She's a famous cleaning lady, and she suggests these microfiber cloths. I looked on Amazon and it has over 68,000 reviews on these cloths. All very good reviews. So I decided to go ahead and pick them up, and I'm going to use them as my cleaning cloths for the next probably year and a half. There's so many of them, they're going to last me a while. So anyways, let me tell you a little bit about microfiber cloths. So microfiber cloths are made from plastic, and they're about 20 times smaller than the original fiber, which makes them almost 200 times smaller than a human hair. How crazy is that? Think of a hair, and it's 200 times smaller than a hair. That's crazy. Okay, so this makes them very effective when you're using them. It removes dirt and germs, and you can do all this with just using water on the cloth. You don't have to use a chemical or any sort of cleaner on the cloth. You could just wet it and use it that way, and then use a dry cloth to dry whatever you're cleaning, like your counters and things like that. Now these fibers are very, very soft, so they're safe to use like on your glass. You can use them on your stainless steel. It's not going to scratch anything. You can use it on your windows, your fine jewelry, really anything. Now, if I remember right, they say that the microfibers are charged with a positive charge, so that when you use it to dust, it attracts the dust in the fibers. And you can also add a little bit of water to the cloth, and then now it grabs all the germs from what you just dusted. So I'll admit the majority of the time I do use my microfiber cloths with the cleaner. That's only because I really love the smell of the cleaner. So when I use my Method Daily Wood Cleaner, I use it with a microfiber cloth because I love the smell of the wood cleaner. I know. You really, you can just use water if you wanted to, and then just go back with a dry microfiber cloth to dry up anything. But like I said, I really like the smell of the cleaner. Now, when it comes to washing these microfiber cloths, they need to be washed separately from the other clothes and towels. Because microfiber cloths contain that positive charge, they will attract lint, hair, and debris from the other towels and the clothes that you're washing them with. And these things are very hard to remove from the microfibers in your cloth. So if your microfiber becomes very dirty when you clean with it, you might want to go ahead and wash it in warm water in your washing machine. But other than that, you can hand wash them if you would like in some warm water and some soap, and then just allow them to hang to dry. Now, you never want to put them in the dryer because they are made of plastic and it can ruin them. And also, never use bleach or fabric softener on them. Okay, so now I'm going to stack them all. Since I started using Saint makeup, I have really pared down on the amount of makeup that I have in this drawer. Many of you know that I have a daughter who is a makeup artist, so I've always had a lot of really good makeup in this drawer. However, I'm really liking the Saint makeup. I will tag the lady down in the description box of who I use that has done my color matches and things like that. This one right here is my newest one, and it's only got 4 little pots in it. That way I can take it in my purse if I need to. So as I go through this, tell me, do you have a lot of makeup in your drawer? And I bet you if you do, you probably have a lot of makeup that's expired. You know, mascara, it expires like after 3 months, especially if you're using it. So you need to be switching out your mascara quite often. Your lipsticks also gets a lot of bacteria in there. So you need to, you know, be sure that you're switching those out quite often too. So, and then cleaning your brushes. That's super important. Mine do need to be cleaned. You'll see that here in just a little bit. I am going to be getting rid of 2 or 3, maybe 4 of those brushes. But anyways, you want to be sure that you're cleaning your brushes because that puts a lot of bacteria onto your face. And you're kind of sealing it in with the makeup. So anyways, you want to be sure that those brushes are clean. Be sure you get new mascaras every 3 months. Be sure to switch out your lipsticks. Don't, you know, keep them around too long. Even though they're pretty, you might want to go ahead and get a new one of it because you don't want to hold on to them for too long. Especially the lip glosses where you're putting it on your lip and then you're putting it back into the tube. Those ones really hold bacteria. The lipsticks, you can shave off the top of it, you know, shave off just the very top layer of it, and it'll be clean again. But the tubes that have the wand in it, you have to really be careful with those ones because you're introducing bacteria back into the tube once you've put it on your lips. It's kind of like the mascara. You're introducing bacteria into the tube of mascara every time you use it. That's why you need to switch it out every 3 months. Okay, so these are my brushes that I'm going through, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these. This one right here I actually used to help put the cream makeup on my face. And then I'm just going to, these right here, these are the Saint makeup brushes. I absolutely love these. I'm going to continue to get more. I've got 3 of them now. I've got those 2 small ones, and then you'll see I have a big double-ended one. But the rest of these I actually use, some with my Saint makeup and some without my Saint makeup. So I'm going to go ahead and keep a hold of these. Now I'm going to go through these lipsticks. These right here I really like, but one of them is a little bit too brown, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of the red. Actually, that red, I wore that for our Christmas party. Thought I looked so cute, but little did I know that stuff was all over my teeth. So I went to the neighbor's house when we were passing out the cookies, and I had red on my teeth. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. That's so grandma, isn't it? Anyways, so that's going in the trash. All right, so I'm going through the mascaras. I know that there's a couple in there that's old, and I checked that out. This right here is my favorite mascara. It's by Thrive. It's a tubular mascara, so it puts tubes on each lash, and it makes it look longer and thicker. So anyways, this is my drawer, and I think that I pretty much have it done now. And I think that it looks good. And let me show you everything that I've got. All right, so we're going to start right here by decluttering my throw pillow covers. Now, I buy the majority of these off of Amazon. These are not all that I have. These are the ones that have been taken off the pillows and folded and put into this container. The other ones were left on the pillows because I find that it contains the feathers that I use as my inserts for my pillows. Now, these ones right here, I think I'm going to keep these green ones because I think I'm going to decorate next year for Christmas, and I'll do those greens. And then the blue ones, all these have seen their better days, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter those. And then these right here, these are never really soft. I've never really liked them. I don't even know why I'm keeping them. And if you can see really close, it's peeled really bad. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these too. So that's going to keep me all the way down to the green pillowcases. So that's pretty good. I'm getting rid of all these other ones, and I'll just be keeping these green ones. So I'm kind of happy about that. All right, so now let's go through my numerous amounts of pillows. Do you have this many throw pillows? Seriously, I think this might be a little bit embarrassing. I had these all in the top of my guest closet. My husband had to pull them all down for me. And instead of keeping them there, I'm going to go ahead and use a vacuum seal bag. I'll shrink them up and stick them underneath the bed. Now this turquoise one I like, but it's also one of the ones that has the feather pillow in the center of it. So that's a pillow cover that's on top of it. The ones that I'm putting to the left, those are the ones that I'm going to be getting rid of, and the ones that I'm putting to the right are the ones that I'm going to keep. All right, so I'm bringing these over in batches because my two of my granddaughters are here, and they were stacking them up and using them as like a little mountain. So anyways, okay, so these yellow pillows, and yes, those are yellow. They're not chartreuse like they look here. Those went to a couch that I once have. I don't know why. I still have the yellow pillows. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. Now I'm checking in here to see if maybe I might be able to take out the feather pillow and just get rid of the cover. But seriously, the cover does help to control the amount of feathers that goes everywhere. I really don't need all these pillows. The majority of them have just been sitting there. I think, oh, I'm going to use this someday. But seriously, I have not been using them. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the majority of these pillows. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up on my couch, and I'm going to take a picture of them, and I will let my daughter-in-laws choose which ones they want, and whatever they don't want, I am going to donate the rest of them. So there's a lot of cute pillows in here. They're all really good pillows, but seriously, if you're not using them, it's time to get rid of them. I don't want to keep storing them. And then the rest of the pillows, I'm going to go ahead and put into those shrink wrap bags that you suction out all the air in the, with your vacuum, and you suction out all the air. And then I'm just going to slide that underneath the bed in the guest room. Now these ones right here are the ones that I'm using on my couch. I absolutely love these, so I will be keeping these. And I'll just go ahead and set these behind me. And then I have my Christmas pillow. You remember this one? This was on my guest room, in my guest room. It does not have one of those nice, feather pillows in it, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it. And then this one right here is the one that I use in the guest room in the spring. So I'm going to be keeping that. All right, so now I'm going to get out those shrink wrap bags. Is that what they're called? Vacuum seal bags? That sounds more like it. And I'm going to put these pillows in it. Now you're going to see me struggle, but don't you always see me struggle trying to put things into things, like put the sheets on the bed? I'm constantly struggling. So I'm going to be struggling to put these in these bags. Now, one thing that I've learned is that there's a line at the top. You can see a white line up there, and it says not to put the pillows or whatever you're putting in there any higher than that line. And that's probably where my mistake is I've overstuffed them. Even though I'm only putting in a couple of pillows a piece, I think that it's too high up into the to the bag, too close to the seal of the bag. So I do struggle, but I do end up getting it, and it works out. But I probably should have bought the extra large bags. These ones are the large bags. And then the other thing that I noticed is when you go to use your vacuum, I'm using my stick vacuum because I don't have an upright vacuum. So I'm using my stick vacuum. And when you take the pole off, the top of the vacuum has like a little lip on it. I'm going to show you here in just a second so you can see what I'm talking about. But it has like a little lip on it, so it's not creating a complete suction onto that little white disc up there that you place it on. But you'll see here in just a second. All right, so here it is. Now I'm putting it on there, and it's doing an okay job, but it's not doing a great job. And I'm going to show you here in just a second why it's not doing a really good job. See, I'm telling you to hold on. All right, right there. See, it's got that little thing in it. So you've got to get it on there just right, and then it'll start suctioning it. There we go. So now it's doing it. And then you just get out as much air as you possibly can. And then you want to be sure that that seal is nice and tight, because sometimes you can hear the air going back in there if it's not nice and tight. But the good thing about these bags is that it's got a color change Ziploc. So once it's together, you can see that it's together because it changes the color of the Ziploc. So these are pretty good bags. They're solid. They're not going to rip. I read a lot of reviews on different bags, and this is the one that had pretty good reviews because a lot of the bags are pretty thin. So anyways, as you can see, I can get out more air for sure, but it's kind of difficult because of the vacuum that I'm using. So Michael's going to end up having to help me with this one because the pillows are kind of big, and I'm having a hard time getting them in there. So, and thankfully I have a husband that can come over and help me. But I think with this size pillow, we probably should have gotten the extra large bags. They also have the kind that is more of a rectangle shape, so it's got like a bottom on it, so it sits up. I don't know what you would call those, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Shaped almost like a little box because it's got a bottom on it. Do you see what I'm saying? I was going to get those, but I'm like, no, I really want these to lay flat so that I can stick them underneath the bed. So the little pull does come off. It's supposed to do that, so it's no big deal. It's not broken. And then I did notice on there that you should slide that thing across 3 times to get a good seal. I know that we end up doing it a couple of times, and well, we're going to do it a lot more with this one because we're having a hard time getting it to do it. But anyways, it says, see right there, slide across 3 times. So I should have done that instead of just trying to use my fingers and do it. But I ended up getting a good seal. I got the air out. They're laying nice and flat, and I can stick them right underneath the bed. So I would encourage you to... Do you have baskets that you like to store things in? I have 2 or 3 around my house. This one right here goes on my side of the couch. I have an identical one that's over on Michael's side of the couch. This one I like to keep my day timer in. I will keep any reading materials in there. I like to keep a pad of paper in there, pens, markers, so that I can, do markers and things like that in my day timer. I had my blood pressure cuff in there. You'll see that I have some spray that I spray my face with when I'm having a little hot flash. You know what I mean. If you get those, you know what I mean. Anyways, those the spray I like to spray on my face, and it kind of cools me down. I also keep a heating pad in there. I don't have it in there now because it's plugged in by the couch, but I wrap it up and I stick it in here. But I like to get in here every now and then and get it cleaned out because it can get cluttered with things. And sometimes things that I actually needed are in there, and I couldn't find them. So I'm glad that I got in there and cleaned it out. Anyway, so it's just, full of little random things that I might need while I'm sitting on the couch. It feels nice to have all this cleaned out. And then right here is another basket that I keep underneath my chest of drawers in my bedroom. It has like day timers and other things that I use for YouTube, and also stickers that go in my planner. This right here is my Erin Condren planner for 2020. Now we know what happened in 2020, so I rarely even got to use it. Now I'm using Kimmy Hughes's planner. She's in her apron planner, and I really like it. I'm not using the big one. I use the smaller one. I can't remember what it's called, but I really like it. So I do have some things in here that I need to actually weed out of here. Some, trash, things that's just, older that I don't need anymore. Cards, business cards. There's some SCENTSY stuff in here that got thrown in here that they don't even smell anymore. These little dry erase markers is supposed to go to my oldest granddaughter. I also have a sketchbook. I love notepads. I'm constantly writing notes. This one's pretty full, so I'm going to go ahead and take out what I need in here and throw the rest of it out. I've got some of these cards. What are these called? Index cards. Yeah, and then these right here are all my stickers that go in my planner. So I'm going to go ahead and get out everything that I don't need in this container, in the basket, not this container, but in the basket. And then I'm going to just put it right back underneath there because I like to have a place that I can keep all of my things, like for YouTube or for my planners, or, just different areas that hold all the things that pertain just to those things. And I like to have them in a basket because that way I can just pick up the basket and take it to wherever I need it and wherever I'm working. So if I need it at the table, I just pick up the whole basket and take it to the table. So that's why I prefer these little storage baskets. Here's some lavender oil from SCENTSY. I really don't like the smell of lavender, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Do you like the smell of lavender? I know it's one of those things that you either like it or you don't, and I don't like it. And I know that it's good for people with anxiety, but I can't imagine that it's good if you don't really like the smell of it. You know what I mean? All right, so now I'm just putting everything back in here that I need in here, and then I will put everything away that I don't need in here and then throw out the trash. Well, I hope this has given you inspiration to spend 15 minutes reorganizing your storage baskets. All right, so we're here underneath my bathroom sink. This really does need to be organized, but today we're not organizing, we are decluttering. So I'm going to get under here and declutter. All right, so this is dry shampoo, and I'm sure that you've heard the controversy of dry shampoo. The first ingredient in dry shampoo is propane. I don't know if you really want to be spraying propane directly on your scalp. It just doesn't sound safe to me, so I'm going to get rid of the dry shampoo. I never really liked dry shampoo in the first place. It kind of leaves that chalky feeling on your scalp. I do understand that if you work out a lot and things like that, the dry shampoo is nice. But seriously, if you just blow dry your scalp after you work out and things like that, that works just as well. Maybe if you want to put a little bit of powder into a cloth and then you can, dab it on your scalp, you can try that. But, spraying propane onto your scalp just really isn't a healthy thing. I don't know why I didn't even think of this. Being a hairstylist, you would think I would think of this, but I think I just got into the hype of dry shampoo and never even thought about it. So, all right, anyways, I'm going to go through here and I'm going to start removing some of the stuff that I'm no longer using. Like this right here, this is thickening spray. Have you seen my hair? My hair is very thick. I don't need thickening spray. I think the reason that I had it is that when I worked in the salon, I had it on my station. So I just never threw it away. Kinra is a very nice brand, and I just probably didn't want to get rid of it because it's such a nice brand. But honestly, it doesn't matter. If you have things that are in your cabinet that you're not using, you really need to get rid of them. Even if they cost a lot of money or they look really pretty, if you're not using them, it's time to get them out of there. So I'm getting it out of here. I will see if, maybe one of my granddaughters or I can't think of any daughter that has thin hair, but I'll see if maybe one of my teen granddaughters might want it. But if not, I'm getting rid of it. All right, so I'm going to keep going through here, and I'm organizing just a little bit. I mean, it's nothing major, but I like to organize, have all my wet products on one side and then my dry products on the other. All right, so this is the other side of the cabinet, and again, it does need to be organized. I will be doing that here soon, and I'll do it here on the channel, but right now I'm just decluttering the things that I don't need. As you can see, I have a lot of lotions. I need to stop buying lotion. I've also switched all of my deodorants, antiperspirants over to native, so I no longer need an antiperspirant in here anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of those. And this right here is a face cream. It really belongs above on the counter, so I'm going to stick that up there. Let's see, what else do I have here? Sweat block. I don't know if you know anything about sweat block, but occasionally I need that because I'm a little sweaty Betty. This right here is a face scrub. It's to replace the one that's in my beauty cart, so when that's gone, I will replace it. I do not like a peel-off mask, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that away. This is like jojoba oil and rosehip oil, and then I have all of my tanning, my self-tanning. Now I'm looking at that Neutrogena. I don't know why I kept that in there. I need to go ahead and take that out because I don't use it. I don't like the smell of it. Kind of gives me a headache. So I'm going to go ahead and put my other self-tanning and my self-tanning mitt right here. So that way I can just get under here and everything is all here. I have everything organized to the way that I use it. And then I'll I put that lotion in there, but actually it should go to the right because I like to get out of the tub and then reach right in there and pump some lotion in my hands and then, rub it on my body. I think I do end up moving it. We'll see. Yeah, I do. And then the Aquifer I'm going to stick there. It's thicker, so I don't use that on my body. And then the Bath and Body Works, I like to put just a little bit of that in with some lotion because it's really strong of rose smell. So I mix it in with the lotion and use it that way. But I really do like the smell of roses too. All right, so you may remember this footage from my 5-day declutter and organize of my closet. If you haven't seen that video, it is a good one. It's very motivational. I will link it above, and I'm also going to link it at the end of this video for you to go see. But this footage is really good for me to help describe what it is that I'm doing. So my husband is a collector, or was a collector, of DVDs. He has so many DVDs, and then also Blu-rays. Now, I wish that he would have allowed us to get rid of a lot of these, but he wasn't ready yet. But what he did allow me to do is to go ahead and remove them from their jewel case. Now, the jewel case is the hard covering that goes around the DVD. So we removed them from there, and then I put them into binders for him. Now, I had him help me, because it's very important that if somebody is a collector of things and it has gotten like way too many, if you want them to even consider getting rid or paring down their collection, you need to have them help you. So I do have him come in and help me. But what I'm doing now is I'm just organizing everything into piles, like drama or action or whatever. So I've got all these DVDs and Blu-rays. There is a difference. I didn't know that, but there is a difference between the two. Anyways, I have all these divided up, and he's going to come in and he's going to pare down some of them, and then the rest of them we are going to put into the binders. So I'm really proud for the things that he did get rid of. And by the end of it, he was saying, why have I saved so many of these? So I think eventually he will end up getting rid of more. Now, the other thing that I do is I put them in the binder, and then I put them in his office. That's another thing, that if you want somebody to really be mindful of what they have, they need to see it, especially somebody who tends to hold on to things that we don't think that they really need. But if they see it long enough, then they may decide on their own that they want to go ahead and get rid of it. So that's what I did, is I put them in the binders, and I ended up having to buy a second binder because he has so many. I ended up getting a second binder, and I divided it up. CDs in one, no, not CDs, DVDs in one, and then in the other one, I put the Blu-ray. And I am categorizing them in here. And also it has a spot where you can take the cover of whatever, the movie is, and put it in one spot. So that way he has all the information that he needs on that DVD. Now, obviously, this took me much longer than 15 minutes, and I know that this is a 15-minute declutter, but I really think that it's a good one. So you might divide it up into 15 minutes a day if you have a lot like this, or you just might want to buckle down and spend the day getting this done. I will say that this was a very difficult day for Michael, because it's overwhelming to go through all these things, and he is a perfectionist, so he wanted to be sure that he had, all the collections in the right categories and all that. But again, he does now realize that he has far too many, and I suspect that eventually he will get in here and remove some of these. But until then, at least they're nice and categorized inside the binder for him, and he can, remove them whenever he's ready. All right, friend. All right, so I'm here in my closet, and I'm going to go ahead and take the clothes off of the hangers that I no longer want. Instead of taking these and putting these out on the bed and going through them, I like to do it while they're still hanging up right there on the hanger. It just makes it easier that way. What you're seeing me do now is actually a second pass through these clothes. I've already done it once. I'm doing it again. I'm being more ruthless. Now, if you've been with me a while, you may recognize this footage. I got it from the same video that I talked about yesterday, which is the 5-day declutter and organize that I did of this closet. That video is jam-packed full of motivation. So I'm going to link that video at the end of this video for you. Okay, so I'm going through, and I'm being, like I said, I'm being ruthless, and I'm taking down everything that I have not worn in the last 3 or 4 months, and that's, been worn out. It's got stains, things like that. Again, I'm being ruthless. You're going to see that I get rid of probably over half of my wardrobe. Now, what I did with the majority of the clothes was I sent it to ThreadUp. They have a program where you can send the clothes. Some of them you can sell on consignment, and the rest of them they can donate to different charities that they donate to. And that's what I did with these clothes this time. So, and then I got some credits back into my ThreadUp, so I was able to purchase some clothes that I would need for this next season. So that was a lot of fun to do. I do like to add some clothes in from ThredUp. If you've never heard of ThredUp, it is like a consignment shop, so you're buying used clothes. When I'm in between weight, when I'm trying to lose weight, I will go ahead and just purchase my clothes that way instead of, paying a lot of money for something that I'm going to hopefully grow smaller out of, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so that's what I do. I just go through here and I'm just grabbing all of the clothes that I'm no longer wearing, being ruthless, getting rid of stains, and really just being honest with myself. Okay, my friends, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, would you please give me a heart? Now this year, we're going to be focusing on reclaiming our peace by building routines. I will see you again next Sunday. Until then, stay blessed, my friends.